Hi everyone, this is Yana Smakula for simonsassstamp.com. Welcome back for another Yippee for Yana video. In today's episode, I'm creating with the Simon Says Stamp Receding Squares stencil. And let me tell you, this is such a powerful stencil design. First of all, this stencil is just a single stencil, so it has a very low price point, but it allows you to create unique geometric background with even some sort of an optical illusion. I had the best time ink blending this background, experimenting with different colors and different ways to use this stencil, and I hope you will feel inspired to grab this stencil, or maybe you have a similar stencil in your stash and recreate a similar background. I'm using the Simon Says Stamp 8x8 grip mat. This is holding my paper, which is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And this is Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock, so it is holding my paper in place. The grip mat is also holding my stencil in place. Notice that I only position my stencil once. I try to make sure to have the design somewhat centered on my background, at least centered to the best of my ability. And that's it. I'm not moving the stencil as I do all of my stenciling. You don't need to move it. This is just basically a single design, and you place it onto your paper once and you're done. Well, I do move it once because I flip it to the other side, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now, I also have acetate sheets. This is something that I'm using a lot lately when I do ink blending, and I use these sheets to help mask parts of the stencil. Because this particular stencil features a geometric design, we have the same image or the same shape repeating on the entire background. I am going to create a little masked opening, if you will, using these acetate sheets on my stencil. Basically, I'm creating a mask to place over my stencil to make it easier to do my ink blending quickly. I experimented with different ways to ink blend this, and this felt like the best way for me. You can do other things, of course. Maybe you mask these sections of your stencil with Post-it note or, some scrap paper, whatever works for you. But I highly recommend you create a little mask and use it to ink blend this background. Now, the acetate sheets that I'm using, these were created using just some old clear acetate card bases that I have had in my stash for, I don't know, like 5, 6, 8, 10 years, you tell me, and I haven't been using them. So I figured, I need an acetate mask. So I just turned them into these sheets that I'm now using as masks. Now, I also used yellow tape. This is Besta or craft tape from Spellbinders. Any low-tech tape will do. And I just used the tape to hold these acetate sheets together. So I basically created one mask using those. After that, I selected the color combination for my card and I picked out the Simon Says Stamp inks. I wanted to go with a yellow, pink, and orange color combo. But when it comes to pink, I wanted to have 2 shades of pink, a light and a dark. So you'll notice my color combination here on this basically first run of the background. I'm using Citrine, Sweets, which is my lighter pink, Sherbet, beautiful orange color, and then Rose. Because I have 4 colors and because the colors are repeating, I realized that it would be easier to ink blend a single color on all of these shapes and then switch to the next color. So I pre-planned this design in my head. Well, I did do a test background. I pre-planned it. And now because I know where each color needs to go, I'm not switching between the different colors when I go to the next shape, when I go to ink blend the next shape. Instead, I'm just moving my mask and ink blending. And let me tell you guys, this makes it so easy, and it really makes this whole process a very enjoyable process. Not that I didn't enjoy it before when I was just, switching between the colors for every next shape, but this way, I don't know, it kind of felt like it clicked for me. Yeah, I don't know. It really worked for me and I loved this approach. I am wiping my mask and also my exposed stencil area with some cloth after I ink blend each section, and that helps to keep everything nice and clean. Now you can do many different color combinations with this stencil, or if you're using a similar stencil, there are a lot of geometric type stencils out there, so you can do different colors. I would recommend you first select a color combo, test it out, see if you like it, and then start ink blending. Color matters so much, and it's like, for me, selecting color is like reserving room for a sentiment on my card. When I plan a card design, I always make sure that I have room for a sentiment. And the same comes to color. If I don't know what colors I'm using, no good is going to come out of my crafting session. So I made sure to pick out the colors that I really liked for this card and the colors that also went really well together. I've sped this part up quite a bit, and you can see how this first layer of stenciling is coming together. With the stenciling done, I remove the stencil. I keep the panel on the grip mat. I remove the stencil. I make sure to wipe it clean and dry it. And I also wipe clean my masks, my acetate sheet masks, because, well, we don't want to have any color contamination happening on our project. So next, I'm grabbing my stencil, and this is how I had it placed before. I flip it to the back, like so, and I turn it 90 degrees. And then I realign it, reposition it, making sure that the shapes line up, press it down so that it sticks in place on my grip mat, and I'm ready to ink blend again. Now for this second pass, I am using the same colors, but lighter shades. So this is just going to give me that beautiful optic illusion on my background. So I have Sunbeam. This is my lighter yellow. Before we were using citrine. Next, I have Bubblegum. Before we were using Sweets. I also have Peachy. Before we were using Sherbet. And I also have Peony, and before we were using Rose. I do want to remind you guys that when you do ink blending, it is best to come in with a light hand and gradually build your color and add color. On one of my test backgrounds, I had a little bit too much ink, and the ink started to seep under my stencil and it pulled in a couple of areas. Not a huge deal, not a big problem, but I would have preferred it to be all nice and neat. So just something to keep in mind, especially if you have a freshly re-inked ink pad. Make sure you're not grabbing way too much ink with your blending brush, but come in slow and a bit of ink at a time. So are you ready? It's time to reveal our background. Here we go. Oh my goodness, this is just like perfection. I don't know about you, but I would even have wallpaper like this in my apartment just because it looks so beautiful, so bold, so cheerful, so geometric, so unexpected. I don't know, I'm running out of adjectives. I just love this. Another thing I love to do with my stencils is I love to use stencils for dry embossing. They're not going to give you quite the same amount of embossing as they would with, an embossing folder, but you can still get a little bit of that subtle embossing with a stencil. So I lined the stencil up on my background. I taped it from the back using some low-tack tape, and I'm next going to emboss this in my Platinum 6 die cutting and embossing machine. For my machine, for Platinum 6, the sandwich is the following: A, platform base; B, platform top; E, embossing mat. I am placing the paper with the stencil onto this entire sandwich like so, with the design facing up. And then I'm adding the D adapter plate on top, and I'm sending this through my machine. So here is what this looks like. It is actually visible much better on the back. On the front, I can see it. For you guys, it's probably hard to see this on camera. Now you can also offset this slightly and have an offset embossed design. I kind of like that the most. And this is what I ended up doing for this background. I offset the embossing slightly, and this gave me this unexpected texture on the background. Love it. With a background like this, all you need to do to finish the card is add a sentiment. Just pick something that speaks to you, pick something that you need, and you're good. I am stamping a wonderful sentiment from the Simon Says Stamp and Kathy Zilski A2 Grid Basics. I have this message that says, birthday wishes for your special day. I never have enough birthday cards, so I had to turn this into a birthday card. And I'm using the new to me, Misty Light stamping platform, which I absolutely love. I have only been using it for a couple of days now, but I really enjoy using it. I still have my original Misty, or Misties, because I have multiples, but I also really like this platform because I feel like it kind of takes less room on my desk, and I don't know, for me, it works better. Now, I am going to heat emboss this sentiment in white embossing powder on specialty black cardstock. This is brushed black cardstock from Spellbinders, and you can find this in the Spellbinders multi-pack. They have the Spellbinders Onyx Assorted Treasured Cardstock Pack. You can find this paper in there, or you can use any other specialty cardstock, like black cardstock that you have in your stash. Just make sure it is nice and smooth, because stamping and heat embossing on textured paper won't give you the best results. So I did the usual things for heat embossing. I treated my paper with an anti-static powder tool. I inked my stamp up with a clear embossing ink. I stamped it onto my paper. I added detail white embossing powder from Simon Says Stamp, and now I'm heat setting this using my heat tool. Next, I have this milky residue that doesn't really look nice, so I'm just going to quickly remove that using a pencil eraser and cut this out using a die. Now, there are coordinating dies for this. I don't have those. Instead, I'm actually going to use a little square with rounded corners. This one comes from the Artful Palette die set, and I loved this one particular square in here in combination with this sentiment, because the square is slightly larger, and it also gives me like these rounded corners, which I felt worked really well with the straight corners, the geometric design that I have on my card. So I loved that. Now, I'm going to add my sentiment slightly at an angle. I have a lot of clean, straight lines and diagonal lines here, but I want to kind of break that up and introduce something unexpected to this design. And I can do that by adding the sentiment at an angle, just slightly crooked, like slightly wonky, intentionally wonky. I have added this panel onto an A2 side folding card base, not a white card base though. I have so much color happening on the front of my card. I wanted to use a colored card base for this project so that when you open the card, you can see color on the inside. I love doing this. I don't always do this. I will usually go with white, a card base, but sometimes I like to use a colored card base for that unexpected pop of color. So I foam mounted my sentiment, wonky, love this. And then to finish this card, I'm adding a couple of embellishments from Pink Fresh Studio. These are the champagne dots. I have been loving them lately. I love how they sparkle and how they add just a tiny bit of extra, pizzazz, I guess, to my card. You can finish your card any way you like, maybe add some die cut hearts or die cut stars, anything you want. So here's a look at this card once finished. Love the way this turned out. That background on the front, it's just amazing. And here's another one that I made. Here I trimmed this down to 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches and foam mounted onto the same pink card base for a little bit of hot pink around the edges. So that's a look at the cards I have for you today, created with the Simon Says Stamp Receding Squares stencil. Seriously, guys, check out this stencil or see if you have similar stencils in your stash to recreate this background. I hope you feel inspired to create. I hope you're going to give this idea a try. If you do, please share online and tag me. I love seeing what you make. Thanks so much for joining me today. Love you guys, and I'll see you again next time.